¿vale? Show feet. Eso es muy raro. Why do you ask to show my feet? This is very weird, but yeah, I'm gonna do it because it's pretty weird. Okay, so here's my feet. It's super weird, but it's cool because I've never liked my feet, but it's nice that some people see.
Wow. Let's go!
And you know,
Thank you for supporting women's MMA. And all I really have to say is, let's go potty break picks.
This would have been an ironic statement.
yeah, no,
And now I'm like, I kind of agree with that. Why even watch? Alright, let's see. Hey guys, welcome to Potty Break Picks. This week we're breaking down the Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko fight, the main event. We're really excited for it. We've got a lot of really good women's MMA fights this week. We've got Knuttson versus Mann. We've got Jasudavicius versus Tracy Cortez. We've got Godinez versus Elise Reed. And then we're going to touch on Kevin Holland versus Jack Della Maddalena.
there you go.
Something like that. But we're going to start off with...
JDM.
Yeah, JDM. We're going to start off with Knuttson versus Mann. Sam, do you have anything to say about this one?
I don't have too much to say about it. I mean, in my opinion, it's a clear Knuttson win. She's just super well-rounded in her game. And you see a lot of women, especially when they first get to the UFC, they have something good about their game and they're just not well-rounded. They don't have the mixed aspect of martial arts. They just kind of like, they're okay on the ground and they have bad striking, or they have good striking and they're okay on the ground.
Yeah.
Knuttson's kind of got it all. She's very well rounded in that respect. I think she's very strong in the clinch too. She has good fight IQ. She knows when to clinch up, when to put women against the cage. And I think she should win this very comfortably. Minus 450. More often than not, you're not going to be profitable betting numbers like that, especially in women's MMA. But I think Knuttson is just ready for this fight. She fought on the Contender Series a couple weeks ago, and I was watching that fight. She did really good in that one. Dana White decided not to sign her for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's a well-rounded woman. This woman could very much be a contender, in my opinion, in a couple of years' time. So I don't know why he decided not to bring her on, but she's got her chance now. She was brought in at short notice, and then her opponent dropped out. And now the UFC has to sign another fighter, and Mann just kind of blew up in Dana White's face. He doesn't give a fuck. He's rich. But yeah, I think Knuttson wins this pretty comfortably. Nothing to say on the unders or overs, really. Yeah, what do you have? I know you've got more of a...
Well, this one, it's hard for me because it gears so much towards my betting style, where, you know, I like to bet on early contenders who where I see a read where the matchmakers might be making a mistake here, where I think that this is... Obviously, Mann came in last second, so you can't say it was a gimme fight, but it kind of is geared towards Knuttson winning. That being said, I think that Mann does have tools that will play a part in this fight, and especially her want to finish. She falls for the constant, like, women's MMA memes. You know, she loves the head and arm throw. She panics in a clinch sometimes and uses that to get out of it, which is, you never like to see that. I could see Knuttson reversing that because she's more of a distanced clinch because she comes from a kickboxing background. I could see Mann going for something really stupid and throwing. That being said, Mann is always looking for a finish, which I don't think Knuttson is. Knuttson's a little too safe, and Mann, you know, you can see in her record, she really is trying, and the level that she's trying against is much higher. UAE is not on the level of LFA. Mann I know that they're not exactly the most convincing wins, and they tend to be up against like old Invicta fighters that are on a skid. And then her one loss is a knockout against, Bruna Brazil, which she didn't look great in that fight before the knockout happened, but still I don't really want to, put that in my bet here when she's facing someone that's not nearly on the level of Bruna Brazil. So I'm just cautioning people to, maybe I don't really see any profit in Knuttson. And if you want to sprinkle and, join me in the stupid way that I look at these fights, I like, betting against the matchmakers. I think that the gap is a little too big. It's not as deserved because, the level that Mann's fought is just way higher, in my opinion, even though her record doesn't look as good. And so I actually think that she's good in the clinch. I think that Mann looks for activity in the clinch where Knuttson doesn't really. Knuttson looks for control, but I think activity wins in the clinch whenever it's two girls who really can't finish each other. I think Mann will look for the finish and probably not get it. I could see Mann by decision, to be honest. But that's a long shot. I admit that that's a long shot, and it kind of sucks that that's how we start the card off because I think I've got more leveled plays for the rest of this card. But admittedly, that's a long shot, so look for a sprinkle on that.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet the fight, so a little sprinkle on that, makes a little sense.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So then let's move on to Tracy Cortez versus Jasudavicius. I don't like betting against Jasudavicius. I think that she's someone that's going to be a legit contender. She's had 4 fights already, but I think that she's going to be a serious, probably a gatekeeper at her peak, but I think that she is an important part of this division. So it's hard to bet against a girl like that, but Tracy Cortez looks good, and I think you've got her, right?
Yep, so I bet 1 unit on Tracy Cortez. I'm debating laying another unit on it. I've got 3 bets on this card. I usually have a lot more, but I think these are just 3 spots where the line is pretty close, and I feel like when it comes to close fights, that's where I really shine.
Yeah.
I'm when I can see an edge in a fight and the line just happens to be around a pick'em, I go pretty heavy on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you were saying, Jasudavicius, she's really good. She's definitely a contender for sure. Like Tracy Cortez, she has the wrestling, in my opinion, to kind of stuff Jasudavicius and counter wrestle her. I think Jasudavicius is going to have a hard time getting Tracy Cortez down. Tracy Cortez is training at Fight Ready MMA with Henry Cejudo and all them. And
that's good to see.
If you need to work on your wrestling, that is the one camp you need to be at.
For real.
Because Henry Cejudo, man, he's got a special mind for this game. And if he's working with Tracy Cortez, we're going to see an evolution to Tracy Cortez. She's going to look like a new and improved fighter from her last time out against Melissa Gatto. And if Jasudavicius isn't getting her opponent down, she's getting outstruck, like embarrassingly outstruck by every opponent she fights. She does not win any minutes on the feet. Kay Hansen, she was getting her face boxed off by fucking Kay Hansen, and she's just a wrestler, dude. She's got absolutely zero striking. So I see that edge. I think this is a level up fight for Tracy Cortez. I think she's gonna come out here with a new wrinkle in her game. And I think she's going to beat Jasmine on the feet. And maybe if Jasmine gets desperate, shoots a sloppy takedown, Tracy Cortez can reverse the position and win minutes there.
I like that.
And yeah, that's how I see this fight playing out. Like I said, I got 1 unit on it. I'm looking to see where the line moves, and if it stays the same by fight day, I think I will put another one down.
True. Bro.
And yeah, give me Tracy Cortez.
Good odds on someone who trains with Cejudo is like a blessing from the gods, dude. If someone's training with Cejudo and they've got good odds, like that is so tempting to touch. But like I said, I struggle to bet against Jasudavicius because I do think that she has so much potential. But you're right. I think we could see like a level up in Tracy Cortez for this fight. So
yeah, I think so. I mean, she hasn't fought in a year, so Jasmine Jasudavicius is a little more active. That's one thing you can kind of talk about, but I think it's not like the kind of it's not a 1-year layoff where they're not doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's at a new camp.
Yeah.
She's learning new things. So I don't think it's like I wouldn't consider inactivity, to be honest. I think it's more so adding to her game.
Yeah. I like that. I like to see that. All right, cool. So then we got Lupi Godinez versus Elise Reed. Talking about reads, I got a bit of one here. I see Godinez by decision. I see it. I really think that there's not a lot of money on betting on Godinez's money line, and obviously there's the case for a finish like that. That's possible, but and Elise Reed's ground game is horrible. But why I'm leaning towards a decision, why I'm leaning towards decision is Godinez is one of those fighters that I really like watching, and when she feels comfortable, she doesn't go for takedowns. When she feels comfortable on the feet and she feels like she's piecing somebody up, she gets into this flow that she just continues to just piece somebody up and sometimes look for a finish even though she's never got it. So I like to see that in fighters when they feel comfortable on the feet, they don't rush to the ground. And Elise Reed, I don't think is going to initiate a takedown. So my read is that I think Godinez starts winning on the feet. I think that she can outstrike Reed. And I think you see a striking back and forth. The one thing that scares me about it turning into a grappling match is Reed has a very blitzy style. She keeps her hands moving. She's very fast, even though she's not very effective. She punches like she's got sting. She's like Erin Blanchfield, but minus any of the power kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she blitzes in a lot, and if Lupita gets into a clinch, I could see that going to the ground, and if it goes to the ground, I could see Godinez finishing her. But really, I don't see that happening. I see Godinez wanting to make a statement with this fight. She's going into this with the better boxing, in my opinion, and as soon as she starts to build that confidence, she's the type of fighter that stays standing. And so, you can see that in her last fights. I really liked the way that when she did start to lose in the ground game, and also she's got the loss to like Angela Hill, for instance. She stayed standing with Angela Hill. She didn't desperately look for takedowns with her. It remained on the feet, and she looked good. Like Angela Hill's a crafty vet, which Elise Reed is not. She used a lot of skills that just looked good against crafty vets, the things that you need to beat them in athleticism, the things you need to beat them, with just your will. But she did end up losing that fight, I'll admit that, but I think that it's a good showing for a decision. I think that she stays standing and takes a decision off Reed. And that's actually the first part of a parlay piece I was going to put with the main event on this one. I was going to take Godinez by decision.
What is Lupi by decision right now?
I couldn't find it on the odds, but I was looking on the wrong page earlier, if you remember, so let me check it now. Let's see. I don't know if the line's open yet. Yeah, I can't find it. Okay. It seems like it's not open yet.
All right. Yeah, the props probably aren't out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a pay-per-view, so they don't come out till later. But yeah, we'll see where that opens up. It could be an interesting contrarian play. As in my opinion, I think Lupita will get the sub. I think Lupita has such a good ground game. Her only problem is she just doesn't use it at times. And I think it's more so just bad fight IQ. Like, if you have that in your toolbox, why the fuck aren't you, like, trying to use it more? I don't understand. Like, Blanchfield, she knows what she is. She knows that she's a wrestler with amazing pressure. She's not going to stand at a fucking rangy kickboxing fight with Tyler Santos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
totally.
Godinez, she's like, I think that it kind of plays into what you were saying. Like, she gets comfortable. She's like, I'm winning some exchanges on the feet. Like, why the fuck would I spend all this energy to go spam takedowns on this bitch? Like, I'm just going to keep it on the feet at a distance if I'm winning. And if I'm not, then maybe I'll shoot a takedown. I don't like that. I want her to game plan for the takedown, And I hate betting her money line because of that. But again, it's Elise Reed, dude. She's so bad.
She really is.
I like what you were saying, how she does have fast hands, just without any of the sting.
It's true.
She's got decent hands, okay, but they're not effective in any sense. And I think Godinez just catches her blitzing in, like you were saying, and gets it down to the mat. Give me Godinez round 2 submission.
Nice.
I didn't have any money on this fight, but kind of talking about it, I'm thinking of sprinkling Godinez round 2 sub or round 3 sub.
Mm-hmm. Those aren't bad.
I'm very tempted on that.
Yeah, I'm betting on her mindset. I'm betting on, what she's shown in the past. And what she's shown in the past is once she gets comfortable, she stays standing. And I think she wins there. So that's why I'm betting decision. I don't see her finishing her on the feet. So it's not, I don't know. It just I see it. So that's why I'm betting on it. And it is a part of a parlay piece that I think I could make a nice turn on. So
yeah, I wonder what that is at. Because if decision is plus money, hold on. What? Let me check what the under is at right now.
True.
Because if the under, depending on what the under is at, we could kind of tell what this decision prop might be.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. No, but I just like Godinez. Like, I think she's a good fighter. And it's rough to watch her because, like you said, it's like one of those fighters where the game plan is more of like if I get into a flow, I'm going to win. The game plan isn't like I'm going to, subjugate my opponent to what I want to do.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating because she's better than most of the people she's fighting.
Yeah, let me check a bet online because Best Fight Odds does not have it at the moment.
They're just slow this week, man.
I know.
Jack Della Maddalena. I gotta get ready for the next one, dude. That motherfucker.
Okay. The over is sitting at over 2.5 minus 205. So they do lean the over. So Lupi Godinez by decision could be around even money, maybe, or like minus 150. I don't know, something like that. It would be my guess. Damn. So the under at plus 165 kind of seems.
Yeah, safer than
nice to me.
Safer than submission by like a certain round, you know what I mean? Because I know she has no KOs, but she is a better striker. A TKO isn't impossible.
What if she mounts Elise Reed and Elise Reed turns her back and she just, gets a ground and pound finish?
Yeah.
Like, I could see that.
That's why there might be value in the under for you for what the play that you're making.
Yeah, there could be some value in that. I'll have to think about it a little more. I'll see what Loopy sub and the round props are at, and then if I don't like it, I'll just hit the under for like half a unit or something like that.
Okay, cool. All right, so then we're moving on to Kevin Holland versus Jack Della Maddalena.
Yep. So I see. Here, I'll start us off.
Yeah. No, go for it.
I see so many people on both sides for this fight, and I love fights like this. Like I said, near pick'em odds. People are so sure of their fighter that they're picking. Tyler Santos, Aaron Blanchfield. People are like, man, Tyler Santos is a lock. She's gonna win this so easily. You're all wrong. Jack Della Maddalena is not gonna win this fight. He's just not. You're on the wrong side, okay? Kevin Holland is gonna win. Please bet Kevin Holland this weekend. Jack Della Maddalena. I know a lot of people like this guy, okay? Because I don't know, he's short. He's
what a take. What a fucking
muscular.
take.
But a lot of people like him for his fighting style and that he's a really technical boxer. A very traditional boxer. Not in the sense that Kevin Holland is a boxer where he has very awkward striking. But he's very traditional and effective and very economical in the way he strikes. he doesn't really gas out. His last fight out against Basil Hafiz, a lot of people are down on Jack after that fight because he went against a short notice opponent who put a very conditioning heavy game plan against him. Just had an insane amount of pressure, just stood and banged with him, shot on his legs all the fucking time. And Jack Della looked human. He looked pretty bad, okay, going into, you know, the third and late second round. And Jack Della, he put himself in some really, really bad spots on the ground against this guy. He was jumping guillotine when he knew damn well he wasn't going to get it. He was just jump guillotine. He did that twice. And then got stuck on his back against this guy. And it just shows bad fight IQ. Now, I don't think you have to worry about that against Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is not implementing any type of game plan. He just kind of fights his own fight. And if it matches up well against you, you know, good for him. But if it doesn't, he's not going to change anything. He's just going to fight his own game plan. And he brings it into every fight. I don't think he really changes anything going into fights.
But he's still evolving with every fight.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people are picking Jack Della Maddalena because they want a new contender in the 170 weight class. But I see a lot of people picking Kevin Holland for the wrong reasons as well. They're
Call them out,
more
Sam.
so
Call out the fake fans, bro.
the fake Kevin Holland fans. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay, you can't bet Kevin Holland because you're fading Jack Della Maddalena, and that's what I'm talking about. If you're betting Kevin Holland or planning to, because you would rather fade Jack Della, that's the wrong way to look at it. Okay, I'm confident in Kevin Holland for Kevin Holland as a fighter. I'm not confident in him because I think Jack sucks because of his last fight. I think that was a one-off night for Jack because he thought, short notice guy, let me just get him out of here real quick. And he tried to. He hit him with some really hard fucking shots. He thought it was going to be an easier night than it was, and hence looking bad later in the fight. I think he's going to come in prepared. He knows what to expect from Kevin Holland. He knows this isn't going to be a breeze. But that being said, Kevin Holland is 6'3", fighting a 5'11" man. He's going to have such a big height advantage, and the reach advantage isn't even close. He's got an 81-inch reach. Jack Della has a 73-inch reach. Okay? He's going to be the longer, taller guy against a traditional boxer who doesn't really use his kicks that well.
I agree with that.
If Jack Della had better kicks, a better kicking game, had good kicks to the body, I think I might even have picked him for this fight. But I don't know how he's going to be able to deal with the range. He's just going to have to really be good at getting inside.
And he's fought some tall guys. He has fought tall guys before, but they're not Kevin Holland.
Yeah, nothing of the caliber that Kevin Holland is.
Kevin Holland uses his reach really well. You can say whatever you want about him, but that's one thing you can't say is that he uses his reach super well.
I think in the 170-pound division, if your name isn't Stephen Thompson and you're having a striking battle with Kevin Holland without any cage grappling, just a straight-up kickboxing match, I think Kevin Holland beats 90% of the top 15 in that respect.
I agree with that. And he's also becoming more complete with every fight, too. And he's had some really good tune-ups. Like, sometimes you can look at fights against people who are below caliber as a bad sign for betting. But in my opinion, in this situation, it's a good sign. I think that these were important tune-ups for his career, especially his last fight. I think that it just evolved him as a fighter overall. And I see this being a key factor in beating him.
I talked about this too in his last fight against Michael Chiesa. I think the move down to 170 showed some urgency in having like a better career and moving up in the UFC.
Yeah.
I think the motivation is there, but that being said, you can't count on him to wrestle Jack Della, although
True.
if he implemented a little bit of wrestling, I think if you knew he was going to be wrestling in this fight, I think Kevin Holland would be like a -200 favorite.
True.
But you just can't count on him for that, hence why the line's at a pick 'em. But even then, I favor Kevin's reach and his height, his unorthodox striking.
Mm-hmm.
He's okay with using kicks. He's better kicks than Jack. We'll see how this fight plays out, but that's my read on Kevin Holland. I just see it. I know Kevin Holland is going to win this fight. I think Jack, this will be a hiccup in the road, but he'll get there eventually. He'll definitely, he'll be a top contender one day. I just think
he's legit, bro.
I think he just needs this fight. He needs to lose this fight and learn from it.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. All right, cool.
I put hold on. I put two units on Kevin Holland, by the way.
Solid.
Just I'm thinking about playing 2 units on all 3 of my bets. I already got 2 units on this one. I'm gonna put another unit on Tracy Cortez probably, and then for our next fight, I also have a strong opinion about.
Let's get into it, bro.
Yeah,
you got the graphic open?
Yeah, I got the Tapology thing open.
Oh shit, you didn't see the graphic I have. All right, it'll be a nice little surprise when you see the video.
Okay.
All right, well, do you want me to start or do you want to start? Because this is where we... Yeah. How did he know? Oh my god. Yeah.
Right.
So this is where
I'll
we
definitely
split.
be checking that out later. That's it.
I think this is where we split because I have Shevchenko. I got bought into the hype when it came to the Mexico stuff. I got bought into the the special belt and all that shit, and I thought that this fight was happening in Mexico. I wasn't paying attention to where. I found out that it wasn't happening in Mexico, and that was such a key factor in me being like, wait a fucking second, nah. And I know that you're saying that that's a thing that takes off a little bit of pressure on Grasso, but this is my theory on the whole thing. This is my read, right? Teaching a jiu-jitsu boxer to sprawl is so much harder than teaching a wrestling kickboxer to secure takedowns better. And both of those things are what these fighters need to win this fight. Rematches are all about adjustments, and I don't think that Grasso... it's not that I don't think Grasso can make adjustments. It's just that historically, it's hard to bet on a jiu-jitsu boxer to learn how to fucking sprawl. It's like almost historically impossible, dude. They either learn how to defend and become champion material or they don't. And she was getting absolutely just destroyed by every reactive takedown that Shevchenko threw until the 3rd round where it started to turn. And I think that was a huge key that had to do with Shevchenko's cardio, not Grasso's defense. I don't think Grasso started to get a read or started to defend any better. It really was just Shevchenko gassing. And I'm not even a Shevchenko fan. I like Grasso's style, and she was winning when the exchanges lasted longer on the feet. But Shevchenko, all she needs to do is lay on her. And also, can I also add, 3rd round, that stand-up from the ref was fucking insane.
Horrible.
That was
Jason
fucking crazy.
Herzog, right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That made no sense. Everyone
she
that
got the takedown and he was like, all right, stand up.
dude, it was crazy. I don't think that's gonna happen again. And I think that played a key factor in her confidence. I know that she immediately went for another takedown right as soon as they were stood up. I get that, and it was successful. But then
it's tiring, man. It's still tiring.
And then Grasso reversed that takedown into a submission attempt. It was a great scramble, but it was a scramble that never deserved to happen because she already had her controlled, and she had to restart the process, and that's where the scramble initiated. Grasso then had more confidence defending, and then Shevchenko lost confidence going in for a takedown, and then that affected the 4th round, in my opinion. I think that played a huge factor, that ref stand-up. I think Grasso would have won the next 2 rounds, probably would have edged in a striking contest, and we can't say that because something crazy happened. It's fighting, whatever. I don't think it's a fluke. I think Grasso's got a hold of that with a good read, but I don't think it happens again. And I can't bet on a jiu-jitsu boxer to learn how to sprawl. I just can't. I'm betting on Shevchenko learning how to just have fucking better cardio and be more economical with what she's doing. And that's champ shit. Like, I see her more having that drive to actually make those adjustments. So that's what I'm betting on. And this is the second part of my parlay piece, by the way. I think that the loopy decision parlayed with this, as I see the odds, I might make adjustments, but I think that those are two solid picks that can make some serious cash.
Yeah. Good breakdown. I'm, for one, on the Alexa Grasso side, and you kind of broke down the last fight and kind of both women's fighting styles. For me, I'm placing this bet more so on the side of narrative, and that's kind of the story for a lot of the breakdowns on this card, but that's just kind of the better I am. I hate to be the one to say this, but I think Valentina is of a different era. Moving onto the flyweight division, I think. I don't want to say she kind of got exposed a little bit against Tyler Santos. Okay,
I agree with that
100%.
She lost. I would even go as far as say that she lost, dude.
She did lose. I had that fight for Santos.
Yeah.
And I think it's just she's used to fighting girls who aren't good. I think she was the trailblazer into this flyweight division of good, well-rounded mixed martial artists, females. And I just think she can't keep up at her age. She's getting kind of up there. And I think a lot of the new talent in the division, the Blanchfields, the Santoses, the Grassos, you know, the Karina Silvas.
What a good division, bro.
Those are the people that are going to keep this division going, okay? Those are the new blood. I think Blanchfield, Tyler Santos, and Grasso can all beat Shevchenko. Now, Shevchenko was kind of winning the fight up until she lost, and you were kind of talking about how the momentum was changing towards Grasso's favor a little bit towards the end of the fight. But I think Shevchenko, with her championship medal, would have found like a way to win that if it kept going. I don't think Grasso, she is a boxer, but she doesn't carry like at least from what I saw in the first fight, she doesn't carry a lot of danger in her striking. Going against Valentina, I think Valentina will win minutes on the feet in this rematch. But I think if it gets on the ground again, Grasso is just so dangerous. I don't think it's gonna be a finish. I think this fight's gonna play out differently than the first one for sure. I think it's gonna be a decision, and I think Grasso is gonna win that decision. The only thing I'm worried about betting on Grasso is maybe she got this belt, and this is a very real possibility in my mind. I think she could have gotten this belt and been like, this is enough. I won the first fight. Why do I need to make adjustments in the second fight?
Yeah. Well, I have something to say about that, actually. Do you mind if I cut in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was going to say, you listen to her interviews, she has a pretty big interview with her dad, who's her trainer. And the first thing that they said right off the bat was, this second fight is going to be all about aggression. Which I like to hear, because you said, like, she doesn't have a lot of danger in her hands. But I kind of disagree. I think she has danger in her hands, but she backs off as soon as she lands.
She kind of stays at a distance.
Yeah.
You know?
She'll dart in, land a good shot, like a shot that has, like, even in the first round, she rocked Shevchenko like a couple of times, but she would land and then back out. And it's like, I think that aggressive ability to stay in and trust her counters, if she could master that, I mean, she would smoke Shevchenko, because that's what's always been needed to beat her. So if the the interviews aren't cap and I'm not just falling for some bullshit, like, that is what she needs to beat Shevchenko, and the ability to sprawl.
Yeah, we see a lot of fighters, and I kind of worry for Sean Strickland in this regard too. I think a lot of people in rematches don't make any adjustments because they're like, "Fuck you, I won the first fight.
Yeah.
What? I don't need to do anything different."
Yeah.
they might not be like, oh, I could have done this better, blah blah blah. They're not gonna do that. I think a lot of people just are like, hey, I won the first fight. I know how to beat you. I'm just gonna do the same thing, and then the person who lost has the better game plan and comes back and wins. And that's why you see a lot of rematches not go the same way. But I don't think that's the case, because I think me and you were texting each other earlier, going back and forth about this fight. This, to me, is comparative to Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman, in the way Leon Edwards got a fluky win, but kind of in the sense Alexa Grasso did, but it wasn't very fluky. It wasn't as fluky, obviously, because she did win a round.
I agree with the key points, though. I agree that she was a boogeyman of the division, and that boogeyman status is gone, you know?
Yeah.
The spookiness.
Yeah, same with Kamaru Usman. Everyone's like, man, no one's beating Kamaru Usman. Leon beats him in a spectacular fashion, the same way Alexa Grasso beat Shevchenko, who is considered one of the WMMA GOATs. And going into the second fight with Kamaru Usman and Leon Edwards puts on a fucking clinic and wins, 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah.
It's... I just see that happening. I think Alexa Grasso is going to make Valentina Shevchenko look bad. I don't think she's going to finish her. I think she's going to make her look like she's from a different era. Okay, I think she's still a good fighter. I don't agree that some people are saying like she's washed or whatever. She's not washed. Okay, she's a good fighter. She's just from a different era. Okay, she's training in Japan for some fucking reason. I don't know why. Who the fuck comes out of Japan and is like a title contender? Who trains in Japan? Nobody. Even Japanese fighters don't train in Japan. Anyways, that's my take for the fight. I think Alexa Grasso wins this by decision.
Even Japanese fighters don't train in Japan is such a statement, bro. That is such, because it's so true, but it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. Man.
No, I didn't like that fact. I didn't like, because I was following the Alexa Grasso stuff, but I was not following the Shevchenko stuff, admittedly, like the change of camps. I just assumed it was going to be business as usual. You hitting me with that was pretty crazy. She is training in fuck it too, or wherever the fuck. But
that's her Tiger Muay Thai or whatever. Yeah. I need to get a little updated on that, but I know for her last fight she was like I was watching the Embedded series. And she was just like in fucking Japan training. She's like, I like traveling the world and like getting different takes on martial arts. I really like Japan and their judo and all that shit. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, Alexa Grasso is training in fucking like Mexico, leading Lobo Gym. She's fucking trailblazing for that Mexican gym.
She's carrying them hard, bro.
She is. Well, I forgot who's
Pedro.
Who else is part of
Pedro
that.
Munoz.
He is.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, yeah, they got really good fighters. Irene Aldana, Diego Lopez. I thought Zellhuber was there, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't think Zellhuber. Anyway, yeah, she's training at a good Mexican gym. She's got that Mexican spirit, as cringy as that is to say.
I could hear the pain in your voice when you said it.
That Mexican spirit.
Dude, anyway, as soon as someone puts their hands up a certain way, everyone just freaks out about Mexican boxing, bro. It makes me more mad than anything than when Moreno fights, and every comment's about his beautiful Mexican boxing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
fuck Moreno. I never liked Moreno. I'm glad fucking what's his name?
Pantoja.
Yeah, bro. Pantoja's a dog.
I got into a comment war for my boy Pantoja, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I mean, this might come off. I don't know how this comes off, but I replied back. I was like, it's like the fucking Alamo, bro. Because I said one thing good about Pantoja, and I was getting flooded, bro. I was getting flooded.
That is hilarious.
They hate his ass, bro.
Yeah. Like start some more arguments, bro. Once the Oliveira Islam fight comes up, I'll be starting some Twitter beefs.
Nice. That's what it's for. That's what we really care about, dude. Here at Potty Break.
Anyways, I played Alexa Grasso at plus 136. She's kind of moving in the opposite direction. I'm seeing like plus 140s and plus 145s around. Yeah, man. Give me Grasso. Yeah, I think that's value. I mean, a champ at underdog money who finished her opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Can't get much better than that.
Yeah. I think that if Grasso finished Shevchenko in a less and again, like I said earlier, totally was a read, was a legit way to finish the fight. But if it was a less fluky way, I'd be very afraid to bet on Shevchenko here.
Yeah,
mentally.
if she because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
Like if it was more like for a whole round, Grasso got Shevchenko down and was beating her to every position on the mat, it would be easier to bet on Grasso, and the odds would be a lot closer.
Yeah,
but since she just took her back at a shitty spinning back fist attempt, it somehow warrants the underdog money on Grasso. I don't get it.
I don't get the underdog. I think this should be a pick'em. Yeah, I agree. Shevchenko though, she's acknowledged the fact that she lost, but in the same breath, she's very much got that mindset of I didn't really lose, which I like. For betting.
She's so dismissive of that fight.
I like that for betting.
Yeah. I mean, she kind of sees herself as the champ still.
Mm-hmm. Well, because the adjustments she has to make are so much smaller, in my opinion. I know that Grasso already won the first fight, so it's weird to say that, but the adjustments Shevchenko has to make are so much more minuscule than the adjustments Grasso has to make. She was really fucked up by Grasso's stance switching. I think in the first round that was the most evident. But when they were standing, Grasso's ability to match her stance and take away that open side counter and the open side body kick and things like that, which are a huge part of Shevchenko's game. Once she took that away, Shevchenko kind of crumbled, which was weird to see because you'd think that she'd have more complexity to her game to be able to deal with that, but she really didn't.
Yeah. I think it's just, the newcomers of the division showing more well-roundedness than Shevchenko is used to seeing. Dude, Shevchenko's record it's really not the best for a champion.
I agree with that.
When you look at the talent pool in the division.
Yeah.
Lauren Murphy.
Yeah. Completely.
This is before the Tyler Santos fight. Lauren Murphy. Jessica Andrade, not even in the weight class anymore, fighting for a paycheck at this point. Jennifer Maia. She's not getting that diversity in her opponents.
She's completely propped up by her orbiters too. That's the only reason she has any kind of staying power. Which Grasso absorbed, which I think is one of the funniest things of all time. That as soon as Grasso beat Shevchenko, she absorbed all of her weird fans. Bro.
Well, she's cute. She has she has pretty feet.
Yo, this is not what this podcast was meant to be, bro. I promised myself it wouldn't turn into this.
Yeah, we should have another show where we just talk about MMA news and have discussions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I said when you said we should talk about MMA, I thought the next word was gonna be feet. I thought for sure you were about to say that. I was like
a feet rating.
No, dude. No. Oh my god, yeah. I promised myself it wouldn't turn into this, but yeah, no, I'd like the MMA news stuff. That sounds fun. So. Yeah,
as you have a picture of Grasso's feet on the screen.
Have you even seen it yet?
You wanted it to turn out this way, don't lie.
No. The graphics get sent to me. I commissioned them, dude. I had nothing to do with this crap.
Oh, okay. All
right. All right, well, that feels like a good episode. I think we got a lot done.
Yeah, solid.
Cool. All right, see you guys next week.